Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on today's video. My name is Annalise and this is my channel where we get planty with it. I'm super excited for today's video. The first reason is I finally am filming on an actual camera. My boyfriend surprised me last week with a real camera. I've been filming on my phone up to this point, so it's super exciting that I can film, actually see what I'm filming, and have my phone on the side for notes. So hopefully also you guys notice a quality difference. Hopefully it looks a little bit better than before. Anyway, enough of that. I want to get into the point of today's video, which is all about Hoya. So I know a lot of you out there are Hoya lovers like myself, so I decided today to pick my fastest growing Hoya and showcase them all for you. I know Hoya typically are also slower growing plants in general, so I thought it'd be fun to showcase 5 that maybe break from the norm a little bit, are a little bit more gratifying because you're going to be getting new growth all the time. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, then keep on watching. First up is a classic Hoya. I think everybody knows and loves this guy. This is a Hoya OBOVATA. Here he is. Such a cutie. Beautiful leaves. There is some splashiness on his leaves. There are ones that are even more splashy than this, but you can see there is a certain level of splash on there. It's really pretty. So I got this guy in, let's look at my tag, in August, and it started out with just these little bottom leaves here, and since then it's put out this much growth, which is a good amount for, you know, 4 months or something for a Hoya. And it shot out this huge tendril, and you can see on the tendril, let me get a little closer. That's the start of 2 new leaves right there. So it's already getting ready to put out more growth. As you can see, it's, wait, also let me show you guys. There's a little peduncle right there. I don't know if it's gonna become anything, but that's pretty exciting. But as you guys can see, it's growing a little bit crazy right now. It's like probably gonna fall out of this pot. So I think I'm gonna chop it back a few leaves and propagate it so I can have, you know, at least a couple vines in this pot. But it's been super happy and Leca. You can see the roots there and it's growing so well. So number 1, Hoya OBOVATA. Number 2 is one I'm super excited about. I think I actually just talked about it in my favorites video because it is a favorite, but it's also just a fast growing Hoya in general, and that is the Hoya Bella. Here she is in all her glory. A beautiful, beautiful plant. This guy started as maybe 5 or 6 leaves after most of it died due to spider mites, and then in just a couple of months, it's put out all this incredible new growth. And there's more coming. You can see there's some baby leaves there. Oh, this guy's a peduncle too. Hold on. Can you see that little peduncle there? That little tiny dot on the screen below the new leaves, that's a peduncle. Oh my gosh. I've never had a Hoya bloom in my life, so that would be really insane. Hopefully it doesn't fall off. I had a peduncle on this guy before and it fell off, so I'm hoping that this one's different. Maybe I'll get a bloom, that would be insane. But long story short, it grows really quickly and I think it's a great Hoya. I've seen some people have like really nice bigger baskets, and that's definitely a goal one day. I think I'm actually gonna chop this guy today as well. I'm in a chopping mood today, so we'll be doing that. So next up is another absolutely gorgeous Hoya, and that is the Hoya Sunrise. This guy is such a prolific grower. I got this back in August and I cut it into a couple pieces from the cutting I got, rooted them so I could have a slightly fuller pot. I think initially there were 2 different stems in here. Let me bring her close so you can see. I mean, look at those leaves. This leaf is sun stressing. That's what they look like when they're sun stressed, although they can get a ton more red and orangey than that. You can see there's literally a bunch of new growth. Like this is a new leaf up there. There's another new leaf down there. So it's shooting out tons and tons of growth. And what I love about this guy is just you can decide what color you want it to be. If you wanted to really sun stress deep red, put it right next to a grow light. Mine is right under the grow light in my IKEA greenhouse cabinet that has all of my Hoya, and it's doing beautifully. But if you prefer the kind of brighter green leaves, like this leaf hasn't really sun stressed. If you prefer that color, then don't put it near your grow light and you'll just get a really fast, nice green Hoya. So I love this plant. I've also seen this one in really big baskets because they just grow so quickly. So I'm hoping we get there one day. It is already like showing roots at the bottom of the pot, if you can see there. So hopefully I'll get to repot this guy soon and that'll encourage more growth. But yeah, I've just been loving it. I think it's such a cutie. Okay, a kind of unexpected one. So kind of like a general rule, I don't want to say rule, but a general trend within the plant community is that variegated plants grow a lot slower than their non-variegated counterparts. So a Monstera albo is going to grow slower than a regular Monstera. Although weirdly enough, I think my albo grows faster than my regular one. I have no idea why. probably because it gets a lot better conditions, but technically variegated plants do tend to grow more slowly. However, this variegated Hoya that I have, that I will show you in just a second, is such a quick grower. I think this guy was also in my favorites because it's just been shooting out a ton of growth this past month. This one's also from August. Wow, I was on a Hoya binge in August of this year, clearly. So here is the Hoya HEUSCHKELIANA variegata. Such a beauty. You can see all the beautiful different colors of the leaves. There's yellows, greens, pinks in there. There's root growth down at the bottom here, which is always fun. And this guy just, what I think makes it feel like it's growing really quickly is that whenever it puts out a leaf, it puts out like 4 leaves at one time. It doesn't grow like a lot of plants are putting out 1 leaf at a time, or a lot of Hoya will put out 2 leaves at a time, like on opposite sides of the stem. Like you guys saw on the OBOVATA, it grows in pairs of leaves, but this one will literally put out 4 at the same time. So it really feels like it's constantly growing very quickly. Even though this is a very baby plant, it started out as like maybe 3 or 4 leaves. It started out really small. So this is a good amount of growth, at least in my opinion, for a variegated plant in the first place. Hoya variegated HEUSCHKELIANA. So next up is another Hoya I struggled with. I think in my Hoya collection video, which I will link above, this plant was almost dead. I think there was barely much of it left. I don't remember the exact amount, but I know it was very, very much struggling. And now it's doing so much better. And now that it's settled in, it's in leca and it's happy, it's been growing at an insane pace, which is why I made it on this list. And that is the Hoya curtisii. I mean, look at those leaves. Those are stunning. Like the leaves have the cutest little splash, and some of the leaves can get kind of more of a purple color if they're being sun stressed, or they can stay this nice lighter green color. Now what makes this guy feel like it's growing so quickly is I've noticed it shoots out new branches very frequently. So since this guy was almost dead, it started out as 1 branch, and since then you can see it's shot out all these other branches. So like this branch is new, that branch is new. And so I didn't even have to cut it and propagate it. It's clearly gonna start growing around all sides, and that's just because it's shooting out new branches. So that's been super awesome. I'm a little nervous for all of these Hoyas that are growing so quickly because they're gonna outgrow my cabinet pretty soon. Like the OBOVATA is hitting the ceiling of the cabinet, but I don't wanna move it because I don't want it to get less light and then not grow so well. So maybe I need a bigger cabinet. Maybe that's the lesson here. Anyway, the Hoya curtisii I think is such a cutie. The leaves are so adorable and the patterning is stunning. Okay, I have 2 more Hoya left for y'all. Now the first one will not be surprising because it was in my first fastest growing plant video. I'll link that one as well. But basically I chose fast growing plants from most genuses. It wasn't just stuck to Hoya or philodendron or something. So this was in that video, but I did want to mention it again because I can't not include it. It is such a fast growing Hoya, and if you want kind of a starter Hoya that's easy and can make a big statement, isn't like kind of a little tiny little wimpy plant, this one is one I recommend. She's quite heavy. Okay. So here is my Hoya PUBICALYX splash. Let me try to find a really beautifully splashy leaf. This is not like a super splashy one. There are ones that get super duper splashy. This is more of like, I don't know, a middle of the road level of splash. But there you go. That's a newer leaf. You can tell by how shiny it is. They can get these really long leaves. Like this leaf is massive, almost as long as my face. So yes, this is the Hoya PUBICALYX. What's crazy about this one is it shoots out the longest runners. So this is a runner, but it's not a runner in the way that you'll see with other plants. So other plants like philodendron, if they shoot out a runner, they're usually not gonna grow leaves on that runner after it's shot out. But with Hoya, you really don't wanna cut these ever because they will shoot out new growth at various points along the tendril. So for instance, this is a long tendril right here, and this is the new leaf it just pushed out on it, and it's starting to push out 2 new leaves. They're gonna be really hard to see. But where that little nub is, there's gonna be 2 new leaves there. I can tell by the little bumps coming out of it. So you wanna keep those runners to make sure that your plant is growing to its full potential. But I just love how this guy like cascades over the pot. It probably needs a repot soon, but I think Hoya kind of like to be a little bit root bound, so I'm not gonna repot it just yet. But I think this is definitely a super notable one. Now what's also super cool about the PUBICALYX is there are a few types. This is just the regular one, but there's also a pink silver one, which I kind of want. The splashiness on the leaves will come in super pink, so that one's super cool. There's also I think a Hawaiian purple, royal purple, something purple that the leaves will sun stress to purple. This guy doesn't seem to really sun stress. His leaves kind of stay pretty green, but I do just love the jungly look this gives. Also look at this cute little weird leaf I put out. Let me move this. Like, what is that? It's so cute though. Anyway, that is the Hoya PUBICALYX, my second to last fast growing Hoya. And last but definitely not least is a little plant baby I got from Plant the Studio. I did an unboxing over the summer back in August, like every single Hoya apparently that I got. Anyway, this guy did not grow for the first probably 2 months. It just kind of acclimated, which I understand. And then all of a sudden it started shooting out new growth. So this is the Hoya rotundiflora. And let me show you the baby leaves. They're so cute. Look at those little fuzzy baby leaves. Now the rotundiflora is so fun, one, because the leaves are literally fuzzy, even when they mature all the way. It's a little hard to see like the fuzz on camera, but maybe you can kind of see it a little bit. And then it's also funny because the leaves are rectangular, which what other plant has rectangular leaves? Pretty much none. So I've been loving this guy. I just recently put him on this little metal trellis, which is good because then I can wrap his vines around here so they don't go crazy. And it rewarded me with a bunch of growth. I think when I got it, it was about down there. So this whole bit is all new growth. So very excited about this guy. Such a cutie. But yes, the Hoya rotundiflora. That's my last fast growing Hoya. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing some of the fastest growing Hoyas in my collection. Definitely comment down below, what is your fastest growing Hoya? Is it one of the ones I have, or are there some other fast ones that I should check out? I think I might also do a follow-up to this, which is my slowest growing Hoya, because I have some that since I've gotten them months ago have done absolutely nothing, which is so frustrating, especially because I keep all my Hoya pretty much in ideal conditions. They're in my cabinet, so they have good humidity. They have grow lights on them like 12 hours a day, and some of them are like, I don't care. I'm not growing. I'm just gonna chill. So maybe I'll do a follow-up with that. But yeah, comment down below with your fastest growing Hoya. And that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, definitely consider subscribing and like this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.